Hi, Dennis here at Capital Training and Shoeing. I don't claim to be a physicist by any means, but today I'm going to talk to you about energy and how to use it. First of all, what is energy? Well, everything has energy. If we took this rope and took a little bitty section of it and put it underneath the microscope, you would see moving molecules even in this rope or this whip. This just happens to be moving at a rate that we recognize at the moment in this form as being a rope. And same thing with, my clothes or my body, everything, this horse, everything has moving molecules in it that are made of the same stuff. And it's moving at a rate that is constant so that we can see it. And then when we see it, it's like a reflection in a mirror. So we're seeing a mirror image of what I'm calling energy today. So what when it comes to a horse, right? Well, I talk about it probably in almost every video, so I thought it was important that I spend some time explaining from my point of view how to use it and what it is. Today I've got a flag in my hand. The flag is simply a way for me to extend my energy to make it bigger. And if I learn how to control this flag in a way that it's useful to me, then it is a very useful tool. If I choose to not learn how to handle this flag in a useful way, I'd better throw it away, because it'll work against me, because I'm not allowing it to do what it needs to be. What do I mean by that? I see a lot of times horses will come in and they've been numbed into oblivion with a flag. In other words, they've had it moved around and there wouldn't be any of that flinch that you just saw in her. So in that instance, the flag was used solely as a desensitizing tool. Now, I don't know about you all, but when I'm riding a horse, I don't want that horse numbed into oblivion. I do not want to have to work to get it to move its feet. So in that instance, I need to use that energy as a sensitizing tool to help get the response from the horse that I need. Well, when you're on the ground, the distance between you and your horse, the only thing that you have to communicate to the horse with is the air that's between yourself and the horse. So if I charge the air with energy, if I get bigger, you see, I didn't touch that horse, but I got bigger, and because of that, she moved away from that energy. So that's the communication tool that I have, and that's how I use energy. I'm going to continuously watch this horse, so I'm using the energy of eyesight to see what needs to go on. When this horse responds as I want it to respond, then I'm going to let that horse know that this is the right choice. See that horse come in there to me and I didn't tell it to come in, so I'm going to raise up energy here until I get those feet to move away. And she then said, all right, I see his game. He raised that energy up. I moved my feet. I'm just going to leave. Well, I recognized that she just left, so I didn't let her leave. So I'm not going to just do something to do something. There's always a purpose behind what I'm doing. I asked her to move over there, and when I did, she was gonna go off this way to get away from it. She was gonna go off this way to get away from it. But right there is where I wanted her to be. So I used focus, direction, and deliberate purpose behind what I was doing to end up communicating to this horse, look, this is where I want you to be. When she stepped into my picture, she is in complete freedom. That's the lowest level of energy. The sweet spot needs to be accompanied with a backing off of that energy to let that horse know, look, here's where you're good. And then they will choose then, over time, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be 6 years from now, but I will tell you this. The better you get at reading your horse, and the better you get at applying energy when you need it to raise up and when you need it to back off, the quicker that this animal will say, yeah, I get that. So if you've been playing around out there for 11 years, you still got an old hammer-headed horse that's dragging you around a lot and won't listen to you, we can't blame the horse. You can have a baby out there, and if you've done the right thing, that baby will listen to you just like a well-trained horse if you're doing the right thing. But it does come down ultimately to us learning to discipline ourselves, to use, for lack of a better word, to use that energy as a tool to work for us and not against us. You know, even when you're riding, it's the energy between your your legs and the horse that's communicating with that horse. So when you're on the back, it's no different than when you're on the ground, other than you're just closer to them. So, uh, you know, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this video or any of the videos you watch, for one, I would like to encourage you to watch them completely to the end. You see, because there's a lot goes on usually at the end of these videos that is going to be a whole lot more helpful than what the first part was. You click on there and watch it just for a few seconds and say, I'm not interested in that. You missed the whole point usually of what's going to be talked about there. So if you would, stay with it, and I think you're really going to enjoy them a lot more. And you know, if you do like what we're putting on, it would really be helpful to me if you would hit subscribe and hit that like button.